Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about a trade that would send OG Anunoby to the Houston Rockets, and a recent trade that popped up on The Athletic that I think it was Kelly Eco that was talking about this potential, or was writing about this potential trade for the Rockets that would send OG Anunoby to the Houston Rockets in the 4th overall pick to the Toronto Raptors. We're going to go over this trade idea for the Houston Rockets and, talk about what it would look like for the Rockets, and also talk about if the Raptors would say yes to this trade offer or trade proposal that the Athletic came up with. So the trade would obviously send OG Anunoby to the Houston Rockets. That is the only thing the Rockets are receiving. The Raptors would receive Kenyon Martin Jr., KJ Martin, whatever you want to call him. And then Tari Eason, the 4th overall pick in this year's draft, and then a first-round pick that belongs to the Rockets in 2025. First thoughts. I'm, as a Rockets fan, I'd be okay with it. I'd miss Tari Eason on the Rockets because he had a great rookie season, averaged 9 points, 6 rebounds, was a very solid defender. His three-point shot would improve, here and there, but it was sometimes good, sometimes bad. I think he has a lot of potential, a lot of growing to do, and it would suck to give up on him because I think he is a stud. So that's the big problem for me. But for OG Anunoby, an impact that OG Anunoby is going to bring, one of the best 3-and-D player in the NBA, can guard all 5 positions. He is an amazing shooter, almost 40% from 3. Great rebounder, great defender. Averages 17 points per game with the Raptors last year, which I think he would average more on the Rockets than he would the Raptors. And it's not only just because, I don't know, Siakam, he's scoring a lot. Van Vliet's doing a lot of scoring. And also OG spent some time injured last year, wasn't always healthy, it's not, OG doesn't have a, injury concern, but, I think OG would have a way better year on the Rockets, maybe average something like 22 and 7 rebounds per game, and just be just an amazing defensive player for us. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think this is enough. And I would be so down to trade the 4th overall pick for OG Anunoby. I've seen some Rockets fans on Twitter and Rockets social media, Rockets Twitter, Rockets, everything, say that, I have seen a lot of people say we should trade the 4th overall pick for, for OG. But I've seen a lot of people on Rockets Twitter also say that we shouldn't. And if we hear the reports that the Rockets are receiving, trade offers on the 4th overall pick, and they're trying to get win-now players for the 4th overall pick, I truly do believe OG Anunoby is the best player that the Rockets can get for the 4th overall pick. I've explored potentially Mikal Bridges. If the Nets are not going to even accept a package of the 3rd overall pick and Anthony Simons, and also now the new thing is that they wouldn't even accept the 3rd overall pick and Shaedon Sharpe, who, let me tell you, I know the Nets don't want to get rid of Bridges, but that is straight up stupid, because with the Nets, you could get probably with 3rd overall pick. What would the Nets do with that? You have Dinwiddie. I guess with Shaedon Sharpe, the Nets would probably draft, because I honestly do see the Hornets taking Scoot Henderson. So I guess the Brooklyn Nets, if they were to somehow agree to that trade, which I don't think they're gonna ever, the Nets would have. I guess the Nets will draft Brandon Miller, or Amen Thompson, which, if the Rockets don't trade their pick, that's the guy I want them to draft. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I guess the Nets would probably draft Brandon Miller. He'd be kind of the replacement for Mikal Bridges. I guess that would be my guess. But I don't know. Would you rather have Brandon Miller and Shaedon Sharpe or Mikal Bridges? I just think Shaedon Sharpe is an unbelievable talent. But the Nets, they're not going to accept an offer of the 3rd overall pick and either Shaedon Sharpe or Mikal Bridges, and I'm assuming that comes with probably way more probably more first round picks, probably other players like maybe Nasir Little with, that for Bridges, probably like Nasir Little, Shaden Sharp, maybe probably another player like Keon Johnson. So it'd probably be Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and Shaden Sharp, and then the 4th overall pick, and probably a 2024 first round pick that belongs to Portland for Mikal Bridges. They're not going to say yes to that. They wouldn't say yes to like the 4th overall pick, KJ Martin, KPJ. They're not going to, it's not going to happen. The Rockets have no shot at Bridges. And I've heard Pascal Siakam for the 4th overall pick. I personally don't think Pascal Siakam fits the Rockets. Yes, he's a good defender, but I just offensively, I don't think he's a good fit for the Rockets. I think OG Anunoby can be way more productive for the Rockets offense and defense than Pascal Siakam can be. And then maybe some other Jaylen Brown. I know a lot of people are going to probably say Jaylen Brown. Why not Jaylen Brown? Boston's not going to move Jaylen Brown. I mean, even Boston's going to do the best they can to re-sign Jaylen Brown next offseason. And I'm not saying Jaylen Brown's going to re-sign with the Boston Celtics, but the Boston Celtics are not going to trade Jaylen Brown. So we think in that case, OG Anunoby is your best win-now player that you could probably get for the 4th overall pick. Jaylen Brown's not an option. Mikal Bridges is not an option. I don't think Pascal Siakam fits with the Rockets. Trae Young, absolutely not. So in that case, and neither of those horrible trades on The Athletic. I saw one that was absolutely brutal today, and whoever came up with that trade idea should be fired. It was Kevin Porter Jr., Alperen Sengun, and another player. I think it might have been KJ. It was probably KJ. I think it was KJ, Sengun, and Tari, and the 4th overall pick, and then a 2025 first round pick for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. Listen, I like Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, but they're not worth all that. And then another one I saw was like a similar package, like it was Kevin Porter Jr., Jayshawn Tate. It was Kevin Porter Jr., Jayshawn Tate. I believe, it was KPJ, Jayshawn Tate, and KJ Martin, the 4th overall pick, and another first round pick for Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga. I love Jonathan Kuminga, and I also kind of like Jordan Poole as well. Sometimes I like Jordan Poole in the regular season. He was amazing in the regular season last year, but was horrible in the playoffs. But I don't think Jordan Poole or Jonathan Kuminga are worth all that either. So, but this one, so neither of those horrible trades with the Warriors or the Pacers. I don't think Trae Young, absolutely not. Jaylen Brown, I don't think he's available. Mikal Bridges is clearly not available. So your best option is looking like OG Anunoby is the best option if you're going to trade the 4th overall pick for win-now players. I'm not saying the Rockets should, which I honestly do think they should. I do think the Rockets should trade it for OG Anunoby, which I think the 4th overall pick is really the only options for the Rockets. But I do think we probably have to wait a little bit and see what happens with the draft. Maybe I don't know. I think there's a lot of time left. The combine. Did the combine already happen? The combine might have already happened, but get some players, some players that are in this year's draft to visit. Come work out for you, like Amen Thompson or guys you're looking at. And if you really think that this is the move and trading your 4th overall pick for win now players, then go for it. I think this is the best option for the Rockets is OG Anunoby. But I'm going to finish this off by saying this is not enough for OG Anunoby. I like how this deal is sorted out, but I do think the Rockets are going to have to add a little bit more, and I don't think it's going to take that much more. So then the Raptors are in a position where they kind of want 2 to 3 first round picks. Even though I think the 4th overall pick is a very valuable first round pick, I'm going to go ahead and say the Rockets give the Raptors the Nets 2024 first round pick. I think if they're that in on trading for OG Anunoby, then if that's what the Raptors want, they'll give it to them. And then also I'm going to say you add in a 2024 first-round pick from Brooklyn, and also Ty Washington. I can see the Raptors kind of wanting to add in a point guard this offseason via trade or free agency. Fred VanVleet's a free agent. I'm not saying the Raptors point guard of the future is going to be Ty Washington. Obviously, with this 4th overall pick, you would think they're going to most likely be looking for a point guard, maybe probably draft Amen Thompson. They're going to be looking for most likely a replacement for Fred VanVleet. I would think that'd be the thing the Raptors would do in this with the 4th overall pick. But Ty Washington would be a really solid backup point guard option. So I know, The Athletic thinks KJ, Tari Eason, the 4th overall pick, and a 2025 first-round pick would be enough, but I honestly don't think it would. That 2025 first-round pick, it's not going to be that good of a first-round pick. 2025, Jalen and Jabari and Sengun have developed even more, and OG's probably still there. Yeah, OG Anunoby would still be there. Harden, if James Harden's coming to Houston, Harden would still be there. The Rockets would be a good team in 2025. So in that case, that's not that great of a first-round pick. KJ Martin, that's another thing. KJ Martin's a great player. Averaged 13 points per game last year. 12 13 points per game last year. But KJ Martin, even if the Rockets accept his team option, he's a free agent the next season. He could very possibly leave them. So KJ Martin and Tari Eason are players that can bring in a lot of, good scoring for the Raptors and, good depth at the power forward and small forward position. But KJ's a free agent. Tari's a really nice young talent. I still don't even know if the Raptors would say yes to Ty Washington, KJ Martin, Tari Eason, the 4th overall pick, a 2024 first-round pick that belongs to Brooklyn, a first-round pick in 2025 that belongs to us. I don't know if Toronto would agree to that. I believe they would, but I'm not sure. And I feel like a lot of if people are going to say anything in the comment section, a lot of people are going to say that Toronto will not agree to this trade. But I do feel like this is a pretty strong offer. The players are not as strong as what the Raptors could get for OG, but I think the Raptors could get a good player back for OG. I think the Raptors could get a really good player back for Pascal Siakam. Could you imagine if maybe the Raptors got the 4th and the 3rd overall pick? Because realistically, the Raptors could trade OG Anunoby for the 4th overall pick with the Rockets, and then they could probably trade Pascal Siakam to the Blazers for the 3rd overall pick and Anthony Simons. So that... Can you imagine if the Raptors end up with the 3rd overall pick and the 4th overall pick? Because it could look like the Raptors could end up doing that. Because if the Raptors are in the route where they could end up maybe possibly having the 3rd and 4th overall pick. And then what would they do? I mean, I think 1 and 2 would still be Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson. And I think the Raptors would probably select Brandon Miller. If the Raptors traded the 4th overall pick, if the Raptors traded for the 4th and 3rd overall pick, my guess would be probably the Raptors select 3rd overall would probably select. My guess would be 3rd overall would probably select Brandon Miller, and then 4th overall select Jarace Walker because they kind of need a center, and then the lineup would be. Their lineup would be point guard. The point guard would be their point guard would be Anthony Simons. Their shooting guard would be Brandon Miller. Their small forward would be KJ Martin. Power forward would Pirtles resign, because then you'd have Jarace Walker at the 4 and then Jakob Pirtle at the 5. Or no, sorry, I'm forgetting about Scotty Barnes. So I was forgetting about Scotty Barnes. So in that case, that's a scary young lineup, because the lineup would be the 1 Anthony Simons, the 2 Brandon Miller, the 3 Scotty Barnes, then the 4 probably Tari Eason, the 5 Jarace Walker, and then I don't think Jakob Pirtle returns. So then off the bench would be KJ. That's a scary team. That's a really scary. Anthony Simons, Brandon Miller, Scotty Barnes, and Jarice Walker. Ooh, that's how valuable OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam are, is that the Raptors can turn OG and Pascal into that. So the Raptors, that would be a good trade turnaround. But you guys have your thoughts on the trade idea. I think it would be a good trade for the Rockets, but I think the only thing it comes down to is, do the Raptors accept KJ, Tari, the 4th overall pick, a 2025 first-round pick that belongs to us, and a 2024 first-round pick that belongs to Brooklyn? I think that's enough, but I could be wrong. That's the video. Because enjoy them thoughts, and peace out. Go Rockets.